And we're back live again after a couple of weeks. Not much has really changed, to be honest, apart from most of the hospital appointments have actually been cancelled off. I'm still having bullshit contact over a telephone, don't know why. I'm going to have to recap through everything and re-put it all back onto Facebook. So as we started at the beginning, obviously the kids were abused severely for 6 months. As you can see, obviously it's all on my Facebook. You've got the marks. Now as time goes along, there's been a lot of tit for tat and arguing, obviously with social services. Now, I don't know if people remember, I actually turned around and said, obviously, wouldn't it be funny if social service we decapitated social services livers? And then obviously there's another comment what I said about giving social services AIDS. Now they've actually put that down as it's threatening, but the police, no, they're fine my videos being up. So all of a sudden, literally, both children are pulled out of nursery that quick, and then they've moved. Now, you've got what is right and what is wrong. Majority of my contacts are only about 5-10 minutes long. If you see a child and they're scribbling a pencil or crayon or felt tip into the table that hard until it breaks, clearly there's something wrong. If a child's actually turning their back away from you, there's something wrong. Now, to be honest, it is actually emotional abuse. It's severe bullying and it's emotional abuse of the children. See, I'm an adult. I can actually cope. Well, I can't cope, but obviously there's certain things what I can do to sort of cope with what's going on. But the kids, no, they can't do nothing. Especially with Khaleesi, and she's a little bit autistic, which you can blatantly tell. Social services still want me to say sorry. But the question is I was right all along. I think it's 7 contacts I've had right now on the telephone. It's twice a week. And then there's another court hearing coming up in 2 weeks' time. It's the 4th of April. We've got to see what the outcome is or whatever that is. But it's not the last court hearing, but it's going to be about the contact and organising the last court hearing. The strangest thing is why would I have telephone contact over a fucking phone? Why? Even dads what have got a real bad criminal record, very violent, they actually see their children. A lot of these contacts is very spiteful, nasty. It's emotional abuse towards myself, and it's emotional abuse towards the children. Majority of the time, the kids are just... Kalani, she's all right because she's a bit young. She's younger. But Khaleesi, you know, you can see she's very confused, lost, doesn't know what to do. And you can always tell when there's somebody else in their room because the children look up as well, up in the corner of their eyes. But I haven't kicked off, I haven't done anything. Just keep on plodding along. Unfortunately, my dog's passed away now, so she's gone. So what we've got is how. But I've managed to actually numb all the pain out and become just stone cold now. Now, as you know, obviously on the Barbage Road, the camera's been unplugged now for 2 weeks. I told you obviously it would not be reconnected back up. Now, common sense really, if it was a council's camera or if it was Warwickshire Police's camera, it'd be classed as criminal damage because you've disconnected it. But no, it just sits there disconnected. Now, why is that? Because it's not obviously a normal camera. It's not just linked up because it's a fly tipping in Bulkington. That signal, what that camera pulls off, is for terrorism. I suppose I'd have to put something like that up, especially if you access the dark web and look right into things. But I still ain't going to stop. I still want to find out what the hell happened. I want to know why. For 6 months, them children were fucking abused to hell. Now, you've got something called moving forward. How the fucking hell can you move forward when you still don't know what the ant symbol really is? What was it? You've got accepting what's happened. So I accept the fact that there's nothing I could do to change the past. What's done's done. And both kids do look quite healthy now, surprisingly. I personally think, which is my opinion, I think while social services have decided to push me to one side, they've mostly treated treated Khaleesi at the same time. Unfortunately, some people are just so fucking gullible, it is unbelievable. Obviously, all this shit happens just in front of your face, and you just sit there and gawp like it's normal. Well, it ain't fucking normal, to be honest with you. Obviously, to protect your children, you need to have some common fucking sense, don't you? Especially in this day and age. It's a cruel world out there. It's bad, it's dangerous. All sorts goes on. Just only takes a split second. Your eyes off your children, them children can be gone, just like that. But, you know, some people are just way they are, I suppose. I blame their parents. So, hepatitis crap. I now have all my appointments cancelled, so I'm just left with different blood test results which say I've got it and I ain't got it, and just different numbers. To be honest with you, if I had it, I'm pretty much sure my liver would be fucked. But it's not, it's 100% fucking healthy. So, I think it's just more, let's just take its toll now. We'll just play it by ear, see what happens. I've had a response back from the council about the complaints, but realistically, it just says beliefs. What I believe to be, or what I believe has happened. Well, it ain't believe, it's a fucking known fact, you moron. But there's a couple of bits what we are going to investigate, which I suppose I just got to keep pushing forward and keep doing it through the right channels. Whether or not I'm going to get the fucking truth of anyone, I do not know. I might do, if anyone's got the fucking balls to say something. But there's clearly something, and there's something there which everyone's scared of, which everybody wants to avoid. Everyone wants us to forget about it. I do. But I will after I find out the fucking truth. So, at the moment, obviously social services obviously do say they're going for adoption. Well, I'm revoking that adoption order, but they want to move forward, and they want me to say sorry, but then they still fucking abuse me with this stupid video contacts. So I just got to get to the next court hearing. Realistically, you would think that they'd be doing things professionally, wouldn't you? Well, there's a mark on my daughter's hand. I weren't happy about it. Moving forward to me would actually mean doing things in a professional manner, which means doing a CP medical. That's the 15th at the CP medical. Well, guess what's been refused? Now, why would 15 CP medicals be refused? I've repeated it in most of my videos. It's only intense and a bit rubbishy for the child if something's been proven. Normally, it's not. It's just obviously another separate paediatrician, independent, shall I say, what we'll just have a look at the child, and have a look at the whatever's been written down, where the marks come from, and say if it's abuse or it's neglect or it's just reasonable. But I don't think really half the fucking marks what they had anyway the first 6 months was reasonable anyway. So you've got to look at it in a little bit deeper. That Ian Bedard, I would say, yeah, he's a fucking paedophile. But there's a little bit more what comes into this. Is it just a random paedophile foster carer? Or is there a lot more into this? Because too many people clearly have helped cover this fucking mess up. But for what reason? Why would everybody risk their own jobs to cover it up? You might get the odd couple of people what would just not say anything, or maybe one manager might want to cover that up. But not when there's fucking loads of them and it goes to doctors and hospitals. See, I'm still just in no man's land, really, and just making it up as I go along here. Obviously, we've got a complaint getting investigated, which is the main thing. And that's one bit done. I'm waiting for the subject to access still to come through, which is see what social services have actually got on my children, thank God. But that's took long enough as it is. By the time that comes through, fucking court will be absolutely finished. So you've got to look at it in this way. You've got two courts. You've got the family court and you've got CPS, that court. If the police say it's fine to do your videos and put things up, and social services are actually saying that you are a threat, so they stop your contact and they emotionally abuse your fucking kids, and then I turn around and say to social services, right, if you think I'm a threat, or you're threatened by my behaviour, all my videos, shouldn't you go to the police station, actually do a statement? But they fucking haven't, have they? They ain't no statement. Because they can't put a statement because there's no threats been made. So it's just all bullshit. But realistically, no social workers actually supervise the contact. They've all been contact workers. They're both on different payroll systems, for fuck's sake. So where do they actually get this crap from? Where is it all made up? Who's barking them fucking orders? Who's everyone scared of? Scared of? Obviously, you got Sharon, I suppose. She is what? Quite argumentative. One of the most argumentative sort of charismatic people I've ever met within Warwickshire. But then you've got Mia Turner, the little cute thing what stays in the closet. But I can't see her being bossy like that. So I'd say it'd be somebody else. Or is it somebody even higher? I don't even know. But it goes on layers, doesn't it? Obviously you've got a social worker, then you've got the manager, then you've got another manager, and you've got another manager. Something on top. So we don't even know what it is. Obviously I won't ever know until obviously somehow both them children's bloods get sampled. But will I ever get a sample of them bloods? I don't know. Might do one day, I suppose. But I wouldn't know if they still carry something by the time they're adults. So obviously social services actually believe as well. Obviously they're not going to let me revoke the adoption order. Well, yeah, I fucking am going to revoke the adoption order. Obviously it's going to be a long-winded process. About 6 months, I believe, once the adoption order's made. And it's 6 months. So why it's absolutely pointless. As I scroll through Facebook, I can see all the lovely photos, as you do. It's just absolutely a fucking joke in my eyes. People what have been through courts and lost kids for adoption or lost kids to long-term foster care, actually, well, let's put it this way, been through the whole works of it and knows what it's all about. Knows for a full fact. Two parents not communicating or literally one playing against each other, it doesn't fucking work like that. It just fucking fucks your kids up even more. People actually keep their children and keep them out of the system of the parents what get on whether they're split up or not split up as well. But I'm pretty much sure people will start learning as they go along. I know what to expect on the next court hearing. I know what to expect in the last court hearing. Apart from the final court hearing, I don't know how that's going to be. What's it going to be like? Because obviously I am going to be stating the truth and only but the truth on that oath. I won't be standing there fucking lying like everybody else in that court. I know, I won't, in a kind of way, you have to wait your turn to speak. But I don't fucking have to. I'll say what I fucking want when I want. At the end of the day, I'm on the oath, it's just a load of shambles. Obviously, I don't even know the judge's opinion on anything. I think I've heard about two words out of the bloke for over a year. But I thought really there was only one parliament. So Birmingham and Warwickshire are very, very different. Birmingham were bad. They are known as the worst social services going. But come on, Warwickshire is actually Guinness World Record of child abuse, I think. But you've got to look at it where the 38,000 children were missing from just last year. They're the orphan children. But they don't just disappear, do they? Where do they actually go? Where do people think these children go? What do people think about the whole situation? See? It's a disgusting world out there. And it's sad. Because obviously you just got my two children, but when you got thousands and millions of other children out there what suffer the same. But it's never going to stop. You can't stop it. You might be able to prevent it if half the fucking stupid English people actually stood their ground and actually stuck together But they don't really. They don't pay any attention. They don't want to hear the truth. Obviously, I will be putting the truth out there a little bit more. I suppose if people don't listen, I'll put it out there a little bit more harsher for people, I suppose. People will end up listening in the end. But it's just a fucking joke. Obviously, everybody what knew Bo as well. Obviously, she passed away. I had to put her down the other day. 17 years she's been in my life. Seems very weird without her. They're saying I ain't even got the fucking kids with me, so I don't even see the kids. So that's a funny one. Hopefully in a couple of weeks' time I might see the kids, but I can't see it very often. So everyone just can play happy fucking families and rub it in my face as normal. But the good thing is, I'm getting very, very cold. The anxiety's under control a little bit, but hopefully a few more days and nothing will fucking hurt me at all. So then the games can start beginning again. But do I walk away from these kids or not? That's the question. Do I walk away and just leave it be? Or do I just fight to the fucking end? And that's what I've got to weigh up. Because you can see it's real sad for the children, and it's actually hurting the children doing these video contacts. So as a parent, you have to make that right decision yourself. Do I carry on hurting the children, or do I just turn my back and walk? I'll let other people decide on that one. I haven't turned my back on any of my kids, really. Apart from I'm a bit behind with my other two kids, and because I've been dealing with all this. But we'll just have to see what happens, won't we? Obviously, I'm still jumping out of the airplane the 3rd of May. Still got loads to do with that one. To be honest with you, I wouldn't mind if I just fall out of the plane and then splat on the fucking floor. I actually had enough. I feel old and I feel fucking battered. So, but I'm going to, over the weekend, I did say it a couple of weeks ago, I will be sorting out all these videos and pictures, and actually they'll be going onto my YouTube channel. I've actually got my YouTube channel set up, and I'm going to try and start flying this out there. Just remember, when it comes to social services, if everyone's seen the film Battleship, if anybody's played the game Battleship or remembers it, that's all it is. It's just a game of Battleship. Or you could say a game of chess. There's nothing to it. But if you can't play chess and you can't play Battleship, well, you fucked it, because you ain't getting your kids back, are you? If you're not willing to learn it either. And one of the biggest words is manipulation. That is what social services do. They're trained to do that. You know, so you think about it, they turn up on your doorstep. They are going to look around. They're going to look for the weak parts of the family. And then the weak parts and the cracks in that family, that's when they attack. And they can basically take your children. So what you should do is secure all the cracks and make sure we don't see any fucking weaknesses. Never share a tear with a social worker, because it can actually mean they can take your kids as well. But it's easy. You still have to do as you're told. You still got to do everything that they want you to do. So if they tell you to eat shit, you eat shit. But you just don't get too close to them. And you always make sure you've got somebody with you. Never have appointments on your own, especially for the women. In the 1960s, that was when it was, a domestic violence, and let's get rid of the fucking dads. Dads never had any rights at all back then. But now the laws have changed. We're in the 21st century now. Dads just have as much as rights as what we do with women. A dad can actually go and pick their child up and just not return the child back to the mother and say they're keeping the children in their own custody now. And they don't get arrested. So I think a lot of people still live in their old days and need to catch up with politics and the laws and the regulations of what's changed. I've got 12 big fucking binders of social services paperwork, which means there's a lot to learn there, really. I've recapped on most of my stuff, and I'm still quite proud of myself. I've mostly got more certificates than what fucking a social worker has. That's how many parenting courses I've actually done. So I will leave it for there. Obviously I've got another fucking bonfire to fucking do. Fucking all burning all the fucking shit. So I'm going to leave it as that, and then hopefully I'll be on the YouTube channel later, man.